Welcome to the Landscaping Podcast. My name is Joel Barnett and I am your host. And in today's episode, I'm talking with Paul Pritchard from Paul Pritchard Landscape Design. So Paul's a landscape designer based in Melbourne and he's been in the industry for 26 years and he was originally doing construction. So he started off, had a construction crew who's doing design and construction. And then he's made the change to just doing design now. So it was great to hear how he's made that transition and how long it took in the process. So we talk about that. And something I really enjoy about doing these chats with multiple people within the industry is hearing some similar themes that come through of what people have done before they started landscaping. So Paul started off in graphic design, so which is a common thread, a lot of designers. And then he worked at a wholesale nursery, which obviously helps your plant knowledge. And then studied at Burnley, which is a college in Melbourne, which a lot of the successful landscape designers have studied at. So that's similar to Ryde TAFE in New South Wales. There's a lot of talented people come from there. So as much as you can, be successful from anywhere, there's a lot of similarities that link back to, a successful future. And another interesting thing that he mentioned was when I asked if he did maintenance, it was a flat out no, because he basically mentioned that you should stick to what you know, so, which is a tough thing to say to landscapers because landscapers do a bit of everything. But if you're not doing something well and not set up for it, there's no point being half pregnant trying to do it. So we talk about that as well as the importance of choosing of when you're doing just design, having a reliable bunch of contractors who can build it, because as I said a few times, it's a lot quicker to design a garden than it is to build it. So you need multiple landscapers that you can trust who can build it. So he talks about having a quality group of trades that do that for him. And there's plenty of other good bits in here as well. So hopefully you enjoy this chat with Paul Pritchard. Paul, thank you very much for joining us on the Landscaping Podcast. My first question for you is, how did you start in the industry?
It's a big story. I after year 12, I think it was, I went and started doing graphic design in an advertising agency. And just sitting there one day, it was sort of end of summer, looking out the window and just thought, nah, it's not for me. I can't live work in an office. So got out of that pretty quickly and just worked in a wholesale nursery for 12 months, took a year off after year 12 and then just thought, let's go to uni. So did horticulture at Burnley. That was pretty good. I did that with some really good guys, Jim Fogarty, Julian McCarthy, those sort of guys. And sort of went from there. So after that, went and worked for Eugene Gilligan for about probably 3 or 4 years. And that was awesome, such a good teacher, did such good jobs and all that sort of thing. He decided to get out of construction and we ended up building all his work for him. So, it worked out really well.
So did you start the business after he
started the business straight after that? Yeah. So Eugene still needed people to build his gardens. And because I'd been doing it for so long with him, that was just a transition into my own business. And it's sort of gone from there. Still did a lot of Eugene's work over the years, probably about 4 or 5 years after that. And then started designing myself, from just friends, family, all that sort of thing, wanted me to get involved. So sort of been designing since then, but had the construction business going for 20 years as well. So it's good. Yeah.
Have you ever done any hand drawing with your graphic design background?
It was all hand drawing. Yeah. Early on, it was all hand drawing. Loved it until you had to make changes. And that got ugly. So as soon as, CAD and I use Vectorworks for my drawings, got onto that and haven't looked back. Any change is a 5-minute change rather than a 2.5 hour draw. So, it's a no-brainer.
What was the reason behind starting with Vectorworks?
It was referred to me from a friend of mine, and she basically said, it's either Vectorworks or AutoCAD. She was on Vectorworks, so she was able to help me a bit with that. And just went on with that. So, it's good.
So when you started the business, did you take was there more in the construction crew working for Eugene, was it, that then started working for you?
No, there was 2 of us qualifieds that went out and we were quoting against each other, I suppose. And then I got my own crews on. I had a guy start with me when I started the business, and he left last year. So he was with me for 20 years.
Yeah, right.
One of my best mates. So, we had a pretty good time over that 20 years as well. But yeah, Eugene's crew is pretty much dispersed, went elsewhere. Yeah, still in touch with a couple of them, which is good. So, yeah.
Was he one of your best mates before you started working together?
Yeah, known him since we were 5. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah. So Nick has since taken off, and he's training apprentices now for Murray Melly, and he's loving that too. So he just got old, like the rest of us, old, tired, worn out, and had to get off the tools. So
yeah. So what sort of when did you start building up the business? The number of staff you had in there?
Oh, look, we've always fluctuated a bit. It depends on supply and demand, all that sort of stuff. We got up to about 8, 9 employees, I think, which was good, but that was always up and down. We're probably sitting on 3 or 4 of us for about 4 or 5 years, I suppose, at the start. And then we just pumped up the business as the name sort of grew. We sort of just went with it. Didn't really think about it, just went with it, that's how it sort of kept growing.
And did you ever have anyone to learn the business side of things from?
Not really. I used my brother a bit. He's CEO of a couple of big companies in Melbourne. So I used him a bit, but he was a bit hopeless too. Didn't have the time to spend on me, but that's all right. But no, he was good. He was good inspiration. My sister as well. She was in advertising and then changed careers, has turned into a Chinese medicine doctor. And so, it was the family were really good support. Yeah.
That could also help with your aches and pains as well, I imagine.
Pretty much. Yeah. I've had so many pins in me, mate. It's, yeah.
Yeah, acupuncture is like one of the best things, I reckon. Like I've had it done, like a laser version of it, but yeah, I couldn't believe what it did to my back.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, she still treats me too. I'm a guinea pig, pretty much. It's like she needs to try something else. Yeah, just chuck it in me, give it a go.
So, and what sort of methods were you using to get work at the start?
We've always just pretty much done word of mouth. It's always sort of ticked on from there. We did do a lot of work for other designers as well. So although I was designing, we weren't scared about going elsewhere as well. I think that was pretty important because it sort of kept me up to date with what was happening in the industry. So that was good, and it's also a bit easier. So when you're not designing, you've got someone's plan to build off. Here's the plan, off you go, sort of thing. Whereas when you're designing and building, you're through the whole stage. And sometimes it's nice just to take a breath and go, give me a plan, I'll build it. So, but the last 10 or so years, it's pretty much been all our own work.
Have you ever touched on maintenance at all?
Nah, wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
No. I think just stick with what you know. We thought about it, there was times where I thought about, let's grow this business and take over Melbourne landscaping and that, but shot that down pretty quickly when, you look at the work in front of it and you just think, nah. Yeah. I'm a big one on, keep to what you know. We've never got into pool building because we're not pool builders. We've worked with pool builders. We've seen hundreds of them built. I know how to build a pool, but don't want to get involved. So leave it to the pros.
Yeah. The landscapers do a lot of different things, but there's also, you could do a lot more as well, like maintenance and pool building and, then you can start going into building extensions and all sorts of things, but got to draw the line somewhere.
I think there is a limit, and I think, as long as you've got those guys that can back up your plans and your construction afterwards, that's good. So we've had some really good maintenance guys that we refer work to as well. So,
and so were you working for a lot of the same designers consistently? Like they were
pretty much, Yeah, we wouldn't shop around that. You get a couple of plans in your inbox and stuff. Have a look at them, and if it's something that looks interesting, we go for it. But if not, nah. We sort of always wanted to extend ourselves and try and do different stuff within reason, obviously. But often I'd turn up to site with the boys and say, here's your plans, guys. And Nick, who'd been with me for 20 years, just will look at it and go, you know, what were you thinking when you were planning that sort of thing? But we'd work it out, you know, you'd just do it.
Yep. Yeah, I find problem solving is one of the best skills to have within landscaping.
Yep, definitely.
So, when you were doing designs, were you doing a certain percentage on the site and then a certain percentage doing design in the office, or how did that start out?
It sort of progressed really slowly. So we were just doing plans and that, and I'd probably do 20 a year or so to start with, and we'd build them, and then just over the years, name got out, and I'd spend my time in the office basically. As you know, you're managing staff, you're managing plans, clients, and then you've got to get all your all the paperwork involved now too. It's just ugly. Yeah, Adam, I don't know how you guys do it now.
Yeah, well, Adam Hoppers, who recommended you as a guest, he sounded like he's got a good one that he was working with, where they do everything for you. They'll do the site survey, all the drafting, and organise the permits and everything. So
yeah, I think you've got to find someone like that to do it. Otherwise, you're just chasing your tail the whole time, especially the way it is with permits, and then you know what's involved in the time frames that you're getting permits and stuff like that for now. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we're doing a pergola at the moment. It's still like a Stratco pergola. Yeah. And so they've got to do the engineering for it first because they're all unique. So we can't get the permit until the engineering's done. And then they won't start building it until they've got the permit. And if you give them the go ahead before you get the permit, then and then the permit gets knocked back, then you've got a pergola that you paid for that you can't use. So it's a crazy how long the process is for it.
It is. It's madness. So yeah, I'm glad I'm out of that stage.
Yeah.
I thought about, as part of the new setup about offering that service of getting permits and all that sort of thing. But I did a couple, and it's just a head kill. So I prefer to leave it up to you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, if it's not something that you enjoy doing and you don't have to do it, certainly I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to. I suppose I don't have to, but yeah, you got to find someone who can do it.
Yeah, and that goes back to getting the right people to do the right things. Just don't get involved. Get someone who does that every day, and it's done. Yeah.
Yep. Was there a time when you were like full time doing designs?
Yeah, probably the last 5 years or so. I was pretty much in the office the whole time. Nick was able to run the sites for me. So I'd probably rock up the site 3 or 4 times a week, pretty much just to show my face and hang out with the boys for a bit. And then they'd tell me to get off site pretty quickly because I was talking too much and slowing them all down, which was really nice to see. But yeah, so the last, 5 or so years, it's been pretty much full on design and running the business a bit as well, a bit of advertising, all that sort of thing. So, which is, yeah.
So you're doing quoting as well by yourself?
I was doing the quoting, yeah, unfortunately.
At least if it's your own project, so it shouldn't be as hard.
What's going on. You got the setup and, you got the spreadsheets, all that sort of stuff. So it's all just cut and paste. It's done pretty quickly. And yeah, being our own plans and stuff, it was easy. Vectorworks give you all the information you need as well, areas, quantities, all that sort of thing. So it was pretty basic, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I assume, because I use Landworks CAD and I assume that does, but it's not. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. But because it's the one I've used for 13 years, it's a bit hard to change over to one.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Was there any apps or anything you were using when you were running the construction side of things?
Last probably 3 or 4 years, I was big on WorkSafe, so I really did a big push on that. That's to look after the guys on site and also to cover my ass a bit as well. So we use iAuditor for that, but apart from that, nothing else. No, just WhatsApp. We had a iMessages group chat and all that sort of thing, but not much of that was done on work. It was all a bit, just boys putting up photos and videos and stuff like that. So, but that was good. That was good for morale and all that sort of thing too. So, yeah.
And so now you're only doing design. So what made you make that change?
Pretty much COVID. I was always heading that way, but COVID was the catalyst that just said, nah, time to do it. We lost a lot of staff over COVID. A couple of guys went up to Queensland, started their own businesses up there. Had another guy who'd been with me for 7 years or so. He started his own business, Warwick Ram from Ramscapes, and he's doing our work now. And Nick left and worked for Murray Melly. And then all of a sudden we were sort of stuck with a younger sort of crew that weren't qualified. So again, I had to get back on the tools for probably 6 months or so towards the end, and it just hurt. So made that decision just to, pack it up and give the design a real hard crack, which is good. It's given me a new lease on life for the whole landscaping business too, because it's something different and trying to grow a new business. It's really good.
So how many designs would you have been doing, say, like 3 years ago, a year?
Oh, hard to say, really. 3 years ago when COVID hit, it got pretty busy, I suppose. So, or 2 years ago. So we're probably doing, it's hard to say, probably 30, 40, 50, I don't know. Yep. Yeah.
And it's still similar numbers now?
At the moment, it's very busy. Yeah, it's still pretty buoyant. Hoping spring kicks on a bit now, or starts to kick in. So it sort of, we start getting a few more calls, but yeah, doing quite a few. Yeah.
And how long did the process take to shut the construction site down? Because I imagine you would have had a lot of work booked in, and then
we
people
did,
leaving.
And I was really lucky. The guys that were still working with me, I told them early and said, this is what's happening. And I sort of expected that I was going to be building gardens by myself while they got other jobs and stuff, but they all stuck with me right to the end. It was quite surreal that last day, that's it, boys, we're done, sort of thing. So yeah, it was a really good transition. And then that last job finished, and I was straight into it. So I'd sort of pushed pretty hard for design in those last 6 months or so. So I got there, and I was hoping to have a few months off or whatever, but no.
Are you doing anything different with the designs now that you didn't sort of have time to put in the effort with them?
Detail of plans are, so much more, especially because we were building. I knew what we were building. I knew what was in my head. Now you've just got to convey every bit of information you can, because these guys don't know what's in your head, they don't know what's happening. So, I've just got to give them everything. Doing a lot of my elevations, doing a lot of 3D and all that sort of thing as well. So, yeah, you've just got to convey as much as you can. Let them know what you want. You can't let them make mistakes, because it can get very ugly very quickly, I think. Yeah.
Do you charge more than what you were now that you're providing that detail?
I do, in the fact that when I was building the jobs, I do sort of, I'd give them, 50% off at the end if we got the job. So nowadays it's just like, nah, this is what it is, Yeah.
And are you doing the 3D yourself?
Flat fee too. So yeah, go out and meet your clients, have a look, and then just let them know this is what it's going to cost for design.
And are you doing the 3D yourself?
Pretty basic 3D.
Yep.
Enough to get them through, but then I'll handball it off to get the photorealistic stuff if they want it. But more often than not, what I can produce is enough for them. Hannah Digital does our 3D, and they're awesome.
Yeah, we heard a lot of good things about them.
Yeah. So, no, Tim's pretty good. He's quick. He's thorough. He's brilliant. Yeah.
So do you have any staff on at the moment?
No. I'm a Pat Malone, which is, that's a bit trying after working so long with other people. The younger blokes kept me young as well. And now I'm working from home in my office. It gets a bit hard. So any excuse to get out, I'm out. Someone rings me up, so mate, I'll come to site and have a look.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's so that's a bit tough, but the plan is to build the business, and yeah, I'd like to get more staff on. It'd be good. You just need that sort of bounce back, get out of the house, and that sort of thing. Because otherwise, I can see, I'm just going to do my head in, just sitting in front of the computer every day by
Yeah,
myself. So
that's one of the things I reckon I would struggle doing, because if I'm at home, I find it hard doing work. It's 100% solid. It might be worth it, even just having an office to go to, just a little one. But
yeah. Look, I'm pretty good with that. As soon as I sit down, I'm in front of the computer. I just go hard, hammer and tong, so I can do my 8 hours, and then that's it. The computer's off, but it's a solid 8 hours. So yeah, unless there's a golf game on the horizon.
Yeah,
off we go.
Do you play often?
Not enough. Yeah. I play with the boys a bit, but they're all doing their 9 to 5, so it's hard to organise a game for them with them. So
I got asked actually just on the weekend what would I do more if money wasn't an issue, like I didn't have to work. And I said, play golf. And they said, "Oh, you play golf, do you?" I said, "No, I haven't got time."
Exactly. So one day when we're a bit older, mate. And,
that's the thing, when your back's no good and you can't walk properly, then you can relax and play golf.
Pretty much. That's what Voltaren's for too, isn't it?
What other things do you do outside of work?
I do a lot of running, so try and keep fit that way. Bit of golf, bit of surfing when you get time. Just hang out with the family and that. My kids are getting older now, so they're doing their own thing a lot more. So I'm finding I've got a lot of spare time. Our priority has always been holidays, so any excuse for a holiday, we're out. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've started doing that this year. Just started, like, we're going to be going on 5 holidays this year. Like, but some of them are like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, only half an hour from where we live, but it's still it's something.
Absolutely, get out, get the head cleared and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, just looking at your background there, mate. I was looking for a couple of sets coming through, and it's getting me inspired for the next trip.
Yeah, it's a bit consistent. It's a bit nothing too exciting comes up out here, but
nah.
So have you got one of the things I was looking forward to talking to you, because you're kind of in a position where I'm looking to go eventually as well, and I'm sure a lot of other people are as well if they're doing construction now, because most people realise they can't do construction until they're 65 or 70.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was looking at is, because it's a lot quicker doing a design than it is to actually build it. So have you got a large group of contractors that you refer projects to?
We do, yeah. I've got about, I think 5 crews that we're, really handballing work off to as much as we can. I'm trying not to get them quoting against each other too much. I don't see much benefit in that. What a job's worth, having that construction background. So if they're sort of taking the piss coming back with quotes, which none of them do, but if they do, you'll pick it up pretty quickly and it'll be straight back onto them. There's enough work to go around to get, they don't need to be competing too hard against each other. So, in saying that, we do have a lot of guys that'll do our work for us. The problem at the moment is they're all booked out till well into next year now. So, you've just got to give your clients that sort of information, just let them know where it is. And most of them are pretty good with that. A few of them are still shopping around trying to get, jobs done before Christmas in August and all that sort of thing. It's like, good luck with that. So,
I had someone message me or send me an email saying we've got some paving work done and just looking for someone who can do it the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Awesome.
So I don't know if I can do it the next 2 to 3 years, let alone 2 to 3 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm still getting phone calls because a lot of people are still ringing me about construction, and you let them know how it is, and they're just blown away that why are we so busy? What's going on? It's like, what do you do? What do you say?
I just tell people that we're slow. That's why.
Yeah, it's a good call too. Yeah,
we're not very good.
That's it. Yeah, we've got one job in front of us. We just take our time.
Yep. So what sort of is it still just word of mouth where the work's coming in now?
At the moment, Instagram's good. As everyone says, it is an awesome tool. It's just get you out there. The issue that we've got with Instagram now is we've got so many jobs being built that they're not ready for photographs, video or whatever. So I'm just counting down the days, kick in spring, we can get last year's jobs up there, all that sort of thing. So content's the big one for us. But yeah, awesome tool, Instagram. I will eventually get out there and sort of show my face to a few architects, builders, all that sort of thing, I think. But at the moment, I just haven't had time, so which is a good thing. Yeah, I think it's all networking, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of transition myself into all that sort of thing as well. We've always had it on a platter, and with building, you know, it takes 2 or 3 months to build a job, so you got that up your sleeve. Now it takes 3, 4, 5 weeks to do one plan. You got to think about the next one. Where's the next one? Where's the next one? So I've got to get that into my head.
So how many would you have on the books at one time? Do you have a couple?
Oh, look, probably a month ago we had about 15 to 18, I think, going, which was awesome. But that's just dwindled its way down a bit. So I'll start looking again soon, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I was going really well with it. It's just flying through them. But yeah, it's slowed up a bit for some reason. And that might be just me because I haven't really kicked it, but I'm not at all worried about it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, like you said, when you were first doing that transition, you were looking to have a bit of time off. So if that happens, then
looking forward to it, yeah.
So it's not going to happen now because you want it.
Don't tell the wife, but yeah, not chasing that hard at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in.
It is, yeah, it's nice. Can't complain at all.
Yeah, like everyone, whenever you tell someone you flat out, they say, "Oh, that's good." It's like, yeah, it is, and it isn't as well.
It's hard to get that even balance, which you'll never get in landscaping or business, I suppose. You'll just never get that level keel that you want to be on. It's just, but that's all right. That's why we do it.
Yeah, the beggars can't be choosers.
That's it.
Yeah. I saw when I was looking on your page, I saw, or your website it was, that I saw you had a video of Australia's Best Gardens, one of your projects.
Oh, mate, don't advertise that, please.
I liked it.
Oh, no, it's very ugly. So my daughters have gotten onto that just recently, and they're handballing it off to all their friends just for a laugh. So
I thought it was good.
Anyone listening, don't watch that.
Well, yeah, you've actually got 2 About Us pages on your website, so you can only see it on one of them, so I won't say which one it is. You can see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Okay. I better look into that too, the 2 About pages.
Yeah, well, you can never say too much about yourself, so that's good. It's good.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I love on that one you used some steel, the pool fencing. I thought that was pretty cool design. It was that Core 10, was it?
It was, yeah. So we made that up ourselves. It was really good. That was a few years ago now, but it just needed to do something a bit different. It was a bit of an art piece, so yeah, that was a nice garden, that one.
So, and they said it was built on the Victorian bluestone quarry.
Apparently, yeah.
So was the bluestone that you used on that project from China? Did you?
Yeah, so I reckon it was. yeah, I'd imagine it would have been. So yeah, it wasn't BAM or any of the others in Melbourne. So
that's awesome.
You know how it is. It's all about budget.
Yeah. And also on that project, you worked with Hamel Pool. So did you do a lot with them?
We did, yeah. In the early stages, Lawrence and I worked together a lot. He's sort of gone missing a bit now, but I know he's building some awesome pools and stuff still. We had a job just recently that he's done one for the client. Looking forward to getting photos of that one. But so I worked a lot with him. We use David Lee now. He owns Water Features Direct. He's also building pools.
Yeah.
So Dave and I used to work together with Eugene Gilligan back in the old days. So we've stayed in touch all those years, and he's building pools now. So get onto him. He's good.
Yeah. Right. Is it as Water Features Direct?
No, I think it's Urbanscapes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was landscaping for many years, got out of landscaping, bought Water Features, and just got into pool building in the last 3 or 4 years, I think.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because we're doing a build at the garden show next year, and he's going to be doing a custom water feature for us there. So,
is he?
Yeah, should be pretty cool.
Yeah, are you doing one of the big ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's on the site where Mark Browning was this
Yep.
year. So down on the corner. But,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I've still got to do the design actually, but just got some little bits of ideas in my head.
Are you doing it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, nice work. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So like, because we were built quite a few there, and I found that the designer justifiably gets all the credit because if it's a rubbish design, doesn't matter how good the builder is, it's
the design
doesn't look any good. So if I was going to do one again, I wanted to design it. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, nice work. That's cool. I'm actually doing one of the boutique gardens there too, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like you got to get that design together, and that's the hard bit.
Yeah. So, like I've got a little like probably 10 different ideas and just got to piece them all together.
It's so hard.
I found because I've done a couple of boutique ones, and I found I was horrendous with the scale because they're such a small space to work with. So,
it's all right, mate. I'll pick your brains once we're off this.
Yeah. Have you done anything there before?
No, I haven't. No, I go every year and love it, but for some reason never got involved. But got really inspired this year when I went and just thought, yeah, let's give it a crack. And doing it with Adam as well, Adam Hompus. So
he's building it, is he?
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So that'll be good. Yeah, look, we're looking forward to it. We're just chatting away each week about how far I can go with plans and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, so you'll get addicted because it's such an awesome place to be. Like, and in terms of making contact with people as well, it's just it's like I loved being back there this year because like I didn't build anything, but just being there when it was open because it was just seeing all the same people again, and it just felt like I was back home. I think.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it'd be good. Really looking forward to it.
And you're a member of Landscape Victoria. Have you thought of joining up any of the design associations like the Landscape Designer Institute or anything like that to build those contacts?
Look, I've looked at them, but got lazy with it and just been too busy to do anything about it as well. But it's definitely would be something I'd think about doing. And again, that goes back to all that networking and that I've got to, get that mindset about that nowadays. So yeah, I think so. I think the older you get to, the more you want to be involved in the deep end of it too. So I was pretty reclusive with building and that, didn't know what was going on really, apart from when we were building other designers' plans. We just sort of concentrated on ourselves. But now, I want to get more involved with the whole sort of industry and just meet people and get out of the office and go and meet people and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Do you do any site visits of your gardens when they're getting built?
Yeah. So I like to pop in, have a look again, just to get out of the office and see the guys that are building it, just to say good day and meet their staff, all that sort of stuff as well. I think that's important. So they know whose gardens they're building and that, and they can be a bit more involved as well. So yeah, that's a big part of it because I remember building gardens and designs that come out or whatever and wouldn't give the staff much. So yeah, I think I'll get more and more involved as time goes too. Yeah.
Have you been getting any feedback about the information that's in your designs from the people building it?
So far, so good. Yeah, we've had a few built in the last few months. So yeah, so far, so good. And they've been coming out the way I've sort of had it in my head. So I think it's okay. And these guys always ring me as well. If they have questions, they know they can give me a bell. So yeah.
And are you a diva designer where you freak out if they make any changes in consultation with the client?
Not at all. No. As long as it's a good change, and often it's a better change. It's like, so as long as that's what I say to them. You make me look good, and everyone's happy. So no, not a diva designer whatsoever.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, I always laugh when it's mainly our architects. I find they think that they take real ownership of the house, so you can't do anything to it.
No, it's like, and a lot of it too. If it doesn't work, I can draw something beautiful on a bit of paper or whatever. If it doesn't work in reality, well, don't do it.
Yeah,
let's change it because we can have all these awesome ideas and stuff, but it just doesn't work. And I think that's important to have good landscapers too, that are open-minded enough to say, well, come on, mate, what are you thinking there? Let's do it this way or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also if you're using the same ones as well, like they can, they can pick up things. Like if you make a mistake, they'll know that you made it, so they can sort of know you would have meant to do this, and they might check it with you. But that's also the benefit of using regular contractors.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. That's really important. Yeah. Stick with the guys that you've always had. Blah, blah. They know what you want. They know what they're doing too. So
yeah.
That's
so,
good.
What do you see the business doing like in 5 years? Would you, during your level, having an office or anything?
5 years. Geez, that's a long time, Joel. Look, I think I said, I wouldn't mind getting staff. Wouldn't mind, having one or two, probably two staff members just helping me out, just to throw around ideas as well. You often sit in front of the computer and think, what am I going to do here? Or, what plant can I put here? What material am I going to use? All that sort of thing. So to have that fresh eyes onto it as well, it's awesome. So I'd like to go that way. The wife's getting sick of me saying, what sort of paving should I use? And, blah, blah. And she's not a landscaper, she's not a designer or anything like that, but she's an awesome help and throws out ideas and stuff like that. One of my daughters is an art student, so she's been really good.
There's your first employee.
To have like-minded people to pump that out with would be really good, yeah.
Your daughter could be your first employee?
No, I wouldn't get her in the game, mate. No. No. Stick with what she's doing.
Yeah. That's actually something I've been thinking of doing as well, like getting another employee on in the design. So I'm the only one doing it at the moment, but for that exact same reason. Like I was thinking I'll just get them to do a design and then I can draw it up. So then it's a completely different design to what I would do, but I might make changes along the way. But then so that I can still be doing stuff on site. So and if I want to do a design 100% myself, I can. But if not, you've got someone else doing it. So it does make sense having someone on, and you don't have to be too big to do that. I don't think as well, because for that exact reason, as long as you've got enough work coming in.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you don't have to have them full time. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to work full time as well. So look, get someone on for sure. And as you said, if you're comfortable with them doing plans for your brand, go for it. Like it's an awesome thing. Yeah,
there's plenty of designers who do that as well. Like charging 20 grand a design, and they don't even do it. They just put their name to it.
Oh no, that'd be nice one day, mate. Maybe that's my 5-year goal.
Yeah, okay. I'll contact you then. Let's see how you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you listen to any podcasts or read any books or anything to help your brain?
I listen to your podcast, so that's been good. Listening about Paul today before I came on, just see what to expect.
Which ones did you listen to?
I wrote it down. Is it Bethany Williams? I'll listen to her today.
Bethany Williamson,
yeah, she was really good.
Listen
to Ian Barker.
Yeah.
Can't think of the others, but I've listened to quite a few of yours. They've been really good. The LV one's a good little podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. Apart from that, no, just a fair bit of music. That's about it. Yeah. Sit in front of the computer and.
What sort of music?
Oh, anything and everything. Teenage daughters, they just make their playlists and I listen to them. So, and they're all over the shop. So, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, no real genre,
Yep.
You listen to the old school stuff every now and again, but try and keep a bit, up to date with it, with my daughter's sort of music. So,
I say to my guys quite often, I've got the music taste of a teenage girl as well. Like I listen to anything. Taylor Swift, big fan. So all sorts of
right. No, my girls are a bit different, bit out there. Stuff that, I don't know, you don't hear on the radio and that, and so this is pretty cool. So
well, too cool for me.
Too cool for me, don't worry.
And last question for you is who do you think would be a good guest to have on this podcast? I think you're one of the first.
Podcast.
What's that?
a good fit for the podcast.
Yeah, so I think you might be the first recommendation that I've had on, because I've only just started doing recommendations. So then it's just been another string to that bow.
I'm not sure if you've had Ashley James on.
I have, yeah. I assume he paid you to say that, because he loves having his name mentioned.
I had to get his name in.
Yeah, I knew it.
So yeah, well, no, I got no one else. Ash is the man.
Yes, yeah.
So,
it's one of the great.
No, I don't know really, because I think I said we were a bit, hopeless with being a bit, recluse with other designers, builders, all that sort of thing. So
yeah.
I was hoping you'd ask me my favorite plant, but that doesn't come up. So
yeah, that'll be the. I'll have to edit it out. So this is the last question. What? So have you got just one favorite plant?
Oh, mate, there's too many to choose, isn't there? Yeah, but I'm into my salvias at the moment. So
yeah, there's a lot of them.
There are, yeah. I'm into my salvias because they're, the bigger version of the liriope. So yeah, I'm going for that at the moment. Fast growing, a lot of flower. So
tough. Yeah. Any particular varieties?
No, all of them. Yeah, yeah. I'll actually go to the nurseries and just buy. I'll see a new salvia and that I'll buy it. There's nowhere to put them in my garden, but I'll just chuck them in somewhere and see what happens. So
do you do that with your designs? Like, will you do like a plant schedule with everything specifically pointed out?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So our plans, they're all concept. Obviously, we don't really do working drawings.
Yeah.
But I will do planting plans, do elevations, stuff like that. Basic 3Ds as we spoke of. But yeah, it's all pretty thorough stuff. With working drawings, I won't specify footings and all that sort of stuff. That's not up to me. That's up to the builder. They're on site. They know soil conditions, all that sort of thing. So they can work that out. If it needs engineering, they can work that out. Yeah. But everything else, it's pretty much there.
Yeah. So I found doing the plants, like I specify them all as well. But then I reckon it's like if you go to a nursery, you might see something that's a better substitute to have in there instead. So that's a tricky thing as well, getting other people to do it. You can't really do that unless you're going there for the planting day or something, or organising the plants yourself. So it's interesting to see how people go about the plants.
Yeah, planting wise, a lot of designers when we were working used to supply plants, which I sort of don't feel that strong about it. I think you're the landscapers, you're there doing all the hard work, and that it's your cream. So I'll specify the plants, but I'll won't get involved with supply or anything like that. I think that's where you make your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if something goes wrong with them, they don't call a designer to come and replace it.
Yeah, in saying that though, you planted it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So that's why I don't like doing it a lot, is because you haven't made the money on it to replace it.
Yeah.
So but most of the designers we work for don't do it. And if I have a new designer we haven't worked for and they say that's what they're doing, I say, well, I'm not doing it. Depending on the project, but
yeah. I have done it a couple of times, but it was a live and learn sort of thing. And one of the times was more convenience and anything. It was I could get the plants quickly for this particular job, so we did that. But the rest of it, it's up to you guys to supply your own plants and stuff, because it's part of construction.
Yeah. Designers design and the landscapers put it all together.
You put it together and it's done. Absolutely. So it's good.
Paul, thank you very much for coming on today. Really enjoyed this chat, and I love that you've done that process that a lot of people will be looking to do. So
it's good. It's it's just a new venture sort of thing. So if anyone is thinking about doing it, just hold off for another 10 years while I sort of get all the work off you at the moment. But it's actually it's been really good. It's sparked my sort of appreciation of landscape again. You can get pretty flat doing it for 20 years and all that sort of thing, the same thing. but this has really, kicked me on again. It's like, give me the next 10, 15 years. So
would you have done it sooner if you're in hindsight?
It's a good question. No, because I really did enjoy construction, and I loved working with the blokes that I work with. I've always had really top blokes. A lot of them, I still call friends today. So in saying that, no, I think when you hit that, I turned 50 last year. So I think you hit that point where your body just gives in. And you can either grow your business, your construction business, or move on to the next stage. So, yeah, I think the timing was right for me. So, yeah, it's good.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Paul.
Good. Thanks, Joel. Cheers. I'll give you a yell and hit you up about how to build a show garden soon.
I look forward to it.
Good, mate.